And we will get started in just a few seconds while we wait for folks to finish joining us. Campers, if you would please change your name to include your pronouns, your age, and also if you would just put the letter N if you are a brand new camper to IB or to Farm and Wilderness, or R if you are a returning camper. And that could include if you maybe were a barn day camper and now you're aging up and joining us at IB. And as you wait, please do check out our code of conduct for our online events and activities. I am quite certain that none of our lovely Indian Brook families or campers would violate these, but sometimes the accidents do happen. So give this a quick look over and we will get started.
Yes, after last visit.
All right, as a reminder, we are recording this event, just so that folks know. We'll have this available for others who maybe were not able to join us today to be able to view the presentation. Good morning, everybody. It is amazing to see your faces today. And it's a beautiful, sunny, warm day here in Vermont, so it makes summer seem like it is even closer than it already is, which is pretty awesome. What I would like to do to get us started is to take us to that place that we all love and are thinking about and can't wait to be at, and that is Indian Brook. I'm going to show a quick video that is a day in the life of IB. And I apologize, I'm not a Zoom wizard quite yet, so it's going to be a little bumpy as I figure this thing out. Alrighty. Let me see.
I'm sure we probably have some experts in the crowd.
I could use some expertise in the old, yes, land of Zoom. So let me see. Oops.
Helen, you just we're asking my question. Teresa, have you shared the video yet?
Yeah, I just shared it. Did it not show up?
Nope, we're still looking at you.
Oh my gosh, holy mackerel. And I am not that entertaining at all, believe me. Oh, that totally stinks. Okay, I'm
Viewing
sorry.
party of one.
Oh boy, that's embarrassing. Okay, that's awfulness. Okay, let me go to.
It's not coding computer camp.
I know, that's why
Oh.
we're unplugged and unforgettable.
My goodness gracious, everybody. What on earth? Okay, please tell me if this is still not sharing. Can you see it
We
now?
see your screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it. I can see it.
Thank you, everyone.
We can't hear it. Me neither. Like, you need to share with audio.
Neither. Yeah, you have to hit share audio.
Computer. Audio.
Okay. Share audio.
You have to unshare your screen and then reshare, but when it has the like table bar up, then you have to hit share computer audio. Now I can hear it.
And then we have dinner. And then after dinner, we usually have like cabin night or like a game.
So right now we're having cabin night, and we decided for our cabin night to go to the mud pit.
And we got ourselves covered in mud, and now we're going to the waterfront to get it all off of us.
Oh my God, it's
You can totally be in here.
Okay, it's okay.
I've got
Holly's
my.
person's coming.
Can you share it from the beginning again so we can see the beginning with audio?
I have my video.
Well, I will tell you where it lives because I would love to do that, yet we are going to run out of time. So what I suggest, if you would like to, whoops. Uh-oh, no, what is it doing?
Come in there. Good girl.
I will definitely put the link into the chat box. It is available on YouTube. Tulio or Alexis, would you please?
I'm on it.
Thank you so much, because clearly my skills in technology are leaving a tiny bit to be desired here today. For sure. So greetings again, everybody. I'm so happy to see you all and to have an opportunity for campers. You're going to spend some time with Alexis to have a chance to have a little camp fun via Zoom, get to know each other, and play. And adults and families, we'll do hopefully something that will be fun, but a lot of information sharing and question answering for certain. Campers, if you have not had a chance yet to hop on your own media, now would be a great time to do that, to join Zoom on your own device so that when we open that breakout room, you're able to hop into that breakout room. And I'm going to be opening that up in just a moment. Before I do, I would like to share with you a little bit about our day today. And then we'll start those breakout rooms.
Will you introduce yourself to everyone, Teresa?
Oh, no, because that would be logical and clearly Logic is not my forte today. Good morning,
You're
everybody.
doing great.
My name is Teresa. I am the director of Indian Brook and Red Spruce Grove, and I use she, her pronouns. This is my 3rd year of supporting IB and being with Farm and Wilderness, and I cannot wait to be back in our community again. FNW is such a special place, and I can't hardly stand counting down the days until we're able to be together back at IB. I'm going to turn it back to Alexis for a quick introduction of them.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to see all of you. Oh, summer is really happening. My name is Alexis, and I use they, them, their pronouns. And this is my 6th summer at Indian Brook. And yeah, I've got a lot of energy because, you know, we didn't have camp last summer. So I've got a lot in the tanks, and I'm really excited for what's yet to come.
So cool. Thank you, Alexis. Before we start our breakout rooms, I just want to share a little bit about our reminders. Campers, please change your name, add your age and your pronouns, as well as N if you're a new camper, and R if you have been to IB before. Everybody feel free to raise your hand or use thumbs up for features as we're having our conversation today. When we move into our breakout rooms, the chat feature will be off. That will help us be more present with each other. But if you need to have a question answered, you can message me directly as those questions might come up. And as always, please feel free to call, text, or email me with questions after the event. And if you haven't already set up a one-on-one call, let's make that happen. I'll share out some of that information here so that parents can have both my booking link as well as my contact information. Today, our purpose is to get campers and families excited for the summer, which the staff definitely are, and the folks that I've spoken to certainly are as well. We're hoping after this event that families will leave being excited and confident about our summer, and that campers will get an opportunity to play and get to know each other, as well as the staff, Alexis and myself. And Alexis and I will get to meet some of the campers and begin to form some relationships before summer starts, which is going to be super important this year because when we meet in person, we're going to have masks on, and it's a little bit harder to make those connections. So I'm glad that we're face to face today to be able to see each other and smile and enjoy our company. How we're going to do that? We're going to connect by listening, learning, sharing, and questioning. We're going to work in breakout rooms. Campers, you'll be connecting with Alexis and each other. And adults, you'll be working with me so I can share some information for you and also answer any questions that you might have. And then we're going to have some fun on ye old Zoom, if you can believe it. It is possible. All right, I'm going to stop sharing there and start our breakout room. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so campers, you should be able to join the breakout room.
I'm trying to log in, sorry, for Lucia on a different device. Oh, I got in, thank you. I was having a hard time getting in.
And Teresa, this is Abby. I'm in the waiting room,
Hi, Abby.
trying to get in on a different device. Hello. If you don't mind just letting me in
Yes, of course.
when you get a minute.
Everyone should be invited now.
Oh, I'm in.
Yay. Alrighty. Is the breakout room working?
No.
All right.
No,
Yes.
it says in progress.
Okay.
Says, please wait to be assigned.
Mine
Mine just says breakout room in progress.
Mine doesn't say anything. I don't
That's
have
fine.
anything.
Let's see here. Oh,
Join breakout room.
yes.
You heard, right? You go by Shane. You want to introduce yourself?
Okay, hopefully campers have had success getting into the breakout room. Are there any campers still here in the adult side of things that are having difficulty getting into the breakout room?
Yes, because we signed in late. We were having trouble getting on, period.
Okay.
For me, there's no link. There's no link.
Yeah, there's no link on my.
Same. It's just like saying breakout room in progress.
Mine's just the normal thing.
Yes. Mine says breakout room in progress too.
Okay, Tulio, if you're still on, do you know, Tulio, what that means? Because I see there are campers in the breakout room, so I'm not
There
sure.
are, I believe you'll have to join. And so if you can look for the join button right now, because there are folks, we've got about a dozen folks in there right now. And you should be able to see it. Mine looks a little different because I'm a host, so I'm not going to see exactly what you see on your screen.
So I should
if you hover your pointer over where it says the number of campers, it should change to a join button.
Okay, unassigned.
Or for me, I have a breakout icon, and when I click that, I get the option to join my camper.
Right, yeah, because I think I put it in to be open for all folks to be able to choose what they wanted to do. This is just for me to join the camper room.
We've got more people in the camper room now.
I don't see it. Where's the thing that says to join?
Do you have a breakout room at the bottom next to the pause and recording and screen share and all that? If you do, that's...
Nope.
Okay.
You know, I just
How about participants?
I just figured it out for Ruby. If you go down to the very bottom bar of Zoom, where you see all the icons, there's three.
Move this.
I don't have that. I'm not on a computer.
Oh, so tell Tulio you're on a laptop.
I'm on an iPad, so I don't.
Here,
see
go
that.
take the one in the other room. Go take the computer, and you can put the button in there.
Okay.
And then you can join. I'll show you where. Are we muted?
Oh no, I'll mute myself right now.
Yeah, it's not assigned. So the breakout rooms weren't assigned. They were just open to folks. So campers, I'm going to keep moving forward. I apologize if you are going to struggle a little bit getting into that camper room. There were so many people on the meeting today that we didn't think there would be time to assign folks. But clearly that probably would have been the better way. I want you to look and see if there is a way for me to assign people to the camper room. There are people joining that. So I'm going to close out of that.
Teresa,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm on an iPad and I realized when I touched it, it gave me an option to join the room, which I'm not because I'm a parent, but if there's a child who needs to do that, that might be what's going on.
I see. So if you're on a device that uses a touch screen, perhaps touch the touch screen, and then the icon, which is usually at the bottom of the page that says breakout rooms, should magically appear. And then you'll be able to join Alexis and the other campers in that breakout room. Lord,
It's one of the little icons on an iPad. It came up on the left.
Awesome.
Upper left.
What an adventure. Yeah, it's not letting me do that. When I hover over the number, because they're not pre-assigned, it's not letting me do anything. Unfortunately, the only number that I see, somebody's just messing me on the unassigned, there's no action when I hover. But I am going to move us forward. I have a Mentee poll that I would like to have folks participate in. So I'm going to share my screen again. Into the Mentee poll. All right. There we go. All right, dear families, if you would please go to mentee.com and use the code that you should hopefully see on your screen, 3731-8597. We have a couple quick and easy questions to get us rolling this morning.
Sorry, could you put that code back up?
Yeah, I sure will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bless you. Super cool. Let me just share this screen out with folks. All right, how I'm feeling about sending my camper to camp. Okay. Anxious, fired up, yay, ready, melancholy, excited, nervous, jealous. That's an awesome answer. I love it. Oops. And our next question. My 3 most burning questions about camp are, And I'm going to go back to that. It's not letting me share the results, unfortunately. So if you would perhaps put your top question into the chat box, then I'll get to those. And I'll see if I can make Mentee share out the results. It's just not letting me share that part of my screen right now, unfortunately. So what I would like to do, because Mentee's not being a good friend, is share with you some of the information that will hopefully answer some of the questions that you might have about what camp will be like this season, as well as, more importantly, what camp is like in any season of Indian Brook, which will be, for the most part, what this season will look like as well.
Hi, I'm sorry. All I hear is music. I can't hear you talking.
You hear music? Does anybody else hear music?
No.
Yeah, I don't have any music playing. That is really unusual. All right, yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure what the music might be about. That's a little disappointing. But what I would like to share with you would be some of the updates to help you prepare yourself as well as your campers for an amazing season of camp. I'm not sure if folks have checked their email yet, but the packing list did come out from our amazing admission staff, and I want to just share that with you briefly and see what questions folks might have about packing lists for this summer for camp. I think the most important thing underlying everything around packing this year is less is certainly going to be more for assisting your campers in keeping their gear organized and their cabins tidy, and still having what they need to enjoy their experience at camp. So I'm going to just scroll through here and share out some probably the most important tips of getting your camper ready for a camp. Probably one of the most important things to do before you pack away all of your camper's gear is to label everything. And we definitely mean everything. Just as it happens in our homes and at school and every place else, campers have a way of distributing their belongings all over camp and having belonging amnesia when we're trying to reunite campers with their gear. It is definitely a tough call. So please label everything that your camper comes to camp with, so we can try to make sure that they do go back home with all of the things that you are hoping they go back home with. We will have laundry service again during camp for campers. Those of you who have been with us before might know that in past years, each cabin would have a group laundry bag, but this year each camper will have their own individual laundry bag, and those laundry bags are provided by the laundry service. Your camper should bring something to keep their dirty clothes in until it's laundry time, which typically happens about once a week, but then they'll transfer it from their own personal, whatever they're storing their dirty clothes in, into their own laundry bag from the laundry service, so that camper's laundry is washed in unique little loads, and then they're not having to sort through a big mountain of clothing to try to find their own personal clothes from the laundry. The American Camp Association is recommending that campers pack really the essentials this year, since most of their things are going to need to be either organized on their bunk, in their sleeping area, or kept in some type of rigid container. They won't be able to bring perhaps lots of the extras that maybe they had brought in previous years. So packing efficiently, certainly not leaving out anything that they need, but making sure that they are bringing only what they essentially need will really help them to keep their gear organized, as well as to keep it inside the containers that it's going to have to live in for the summer. And of course, making sure that whatever they're bringing to camp is durable and appropriate for play in the out of doors. We're hoping that campers can fit everything that they bring to camp into a storage trunk or a sturdy container. Something like a Rubbermaid under the bed storage container would be awesome. You certainly don't have to go buy an expensive foot trunk. Just a plastic tote will definitely do the job. Campers can store things underneath their bunks. Many campers will not have anybody sleeping on the second bed in their bunk, so they can also put those containers on the top or bottom bunk, depending on which one they're sleeping in. But having it be durable and water resistant will be important this year. So trying to avoid like duffel packs or luggage that might be soft-sided will be important this year, so we can make sure everything stays clean and sanitary for the season. The remainder of the packing list will look very familiar to most families that have been to camp before. If it's your first time, it's pretty thorough, our packing list, but it's, I think, no surprises. You'll want to send bedding with your camper, and essentially what they are familiar with and comfortable with really helps, so they're not nesting down at the end of the day into bedding that maybe they're unfamiliar with or is itchy or scratchy, or they haven't slept in before. Like if it's a sleeping bag that they'll be sleeping in, they might want to test drive that before they get to camp, so their first night of camp isn't in something that they are totally unfamiliar with. If it's their first time of camp, especially, that will be important. When you open the packing list, you'll see that there is a list of all the clothing that the camper should be bringing to camp. And most importantly, again, are clothes that can get wet and dirty, and to be able to dress in layers as the temperature changes throughout the day, especially for the July session. It'll be still very cool in the mornings and the evenings, and then it'll warm up during the day. So sending a little bit of long sleeves, long pants, as well as shorts and shirts. You'll find that there. Miscellaneous stuff. In the toiletry kits, we are asking that campers put their toothbrushes in like a little travel case this year, or even a Ziploc bag. It'll be important that campers' toiletries are able to be contained either in a tote, or it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a Ziploc bag or a mesh bag, so that we can make sure that their gear is not mingling throughout the summer. Of course, medications and vitamins, those would be turned into the nurse when you check in at camp. Insect repellent, please don't send aerosol spray. You can send a pump spray or a lotion or wipes. And then we definitely recommend the permethrin sprays, which would go on their clothing and not on their person. But you can treat their clothing with the permethrin before they go to camp, and it will last them all throughout their session. Stamps and letters and other stationery materials are super helpful and important to send with your campers, so that they can write letters home for you. And you are definitely welcome to send lots and lots of letters to your campers this summer. We are asking that you reduce the amount of packages that you send, because the amount of belongings each camper can have in the cabin is smaller this year. Certainly no food or anything of that sort. And then perhaps those care packages being small and infrequent, as we have to really maintain space and a clean environment this summer and make sure campers' gear is all tucked up and put away. There are not the multiple night overnights this summer, so campers really don't need the amount of camping gear that they would have needed in the past, but these camping gear items really just help them navigate camp. Having water bottles are incredibly important any summer, and labeling those water bottles are super duper important. A headlamp and a flashlight, I really like both. Headlamps certainly are much easier to use when you're doing things in your cabin in the evening. You don't want to hold on to that flashlight. Flashlights are nice as a backup, or even those little pop-up battery lanterns are super helpful. And the eating dishes and utensils for trail use, really for IB, those are not completely necessary. We do have mess kits and canteen kits that your campers can use. They'll be going on an overnight, and we can provide those for your camper. If they have one, you are certainly more than welcome to send that with them. And the day pack is always a good idea, because campers are traveling throughout program areas throughout the day. And it's nice for them to have that, not just for their overnight, but also for their camp day. If they want to tuck their towel in there or shower shoes or whatever their activity schedule is, it's nice to have some gear in there. Optional items are definitely optional. Mosquito nets, if you don't have one, you do not need to run out and buy one. We do have some mosquito nets. These are for hanging around the camper's bunks. So if you think your camper would like a mosquito net and you do not have that, please just shoot me an email and we'll make sure that they are provided with one. Books, of course, are always an awesome thing to bring to camp. IB does not have any program-specific gear or materials that they need to bring outside of what is on that packing list this summer, so it's going to be pretty straightforward for packing for camp. Do not bring, of course, electronics. Please don't bring electronics. Those would include cell phones, tablets, other devices, unless there's some specific accommodation that your camper might need, and then we can definitely work with them on that. Money, there will be nothing for them to spend on and often gets lost. Food of any kind, definitely not at camp. There's no place for us to store camper food in the kitchen this year because campers are not allowed into any food service or food preparation area, and they're not able to have that in their cabins, as that invites lots of furry, four-legged, small and bigger friends to the cabin. So this summer it'll be super important that campers don't bring any supplemental snacks, treats, things like that. If your camper has dietary needs that are specific, we will certainly work with you to meet those dietary needs. We just will not be able to have parents or families drop off food specific for their campers. We'll be providing that in-house. So just communicate with us and we'll be glad to make sure we're meeting your camper's dietary needs. Candles, lighters, glass bottles, or aerosol sprays. If you are wondering, hey, where do I get this stuff for my camper? There's lots of links that you can open up when you pop open that email to find good deals. There are plenty of retailers that have used gear stores. I hit REI all the time. Sierra Trading Post is another one. I think it's just called Sierra now, that has really great deals on gear. But my go-to is definitely going to be the REI outlet or the REI used gear store. We've gotten some killer deals on there before. That is a packing list. Are there any questions about the packing lists or things to bring or not to bring to camp? And you can feel free to unmute and ask the question. We'll take maybe 3 or 4 questions before we move on about packing for camp this summer. All right, I will take the side. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So they don't need a big backpack like they would when they would normally go on a 3 or 4 day overnight?
That's correct. They will not need a big backpack as they're only doing a cabin overnight, and they won't be lugging around like tons of gear, multiple days change of clothing. Really, a day pack is going to be totally sufficient for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, of course. You are very welcome.
So the same question then, like they need a sleeping bag, but do they need a mat? Do they need, like the foam pads I've done in the past?
Yeah, it's a good idea to send one with them because it's much more comfortable. Even if it's just one night, it's nice to have that foam pad. And honestly, some campers sleep better having a little extra cushioning on their bunks. So I often put my foam pad on my mattress and put my sheet on top of it. And it gives me a little extra cushion when I'm sleeping. So it's not required if they don't have one. We do have some that we can lend out. They're of course sanitized in between use, but they can certainly put it on their bunk when they're not using it, which is what I usually do. It gives a little extra cush to the old cat mattress. Many folks had questions for us in previous online events about our staff and will our staff be vaccinated. We are not requiring that staff receive vaccinations, but we are strongly suggesting that they receive vaccinations, as everybody should be eligible for that. Some folks are still struggling to get appointments or to have a full round if they're not, if they can't get the J&J vaccine, to be able to have both sets of the series before camp starts, are some of the types of difficulties folks are running into. But our goal is to encourage staff to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated prior to they arrive to camp for their own personal protection and benefit. And we realize and understand that due to the age of our campers will not be vaccinated. So we'll still have vulnerable populations at camp within our staff team, as well as, of course, within our campers. Opening day, which is not close enough, but getting closer, is the clock ticks. There is going to be an event. It'll be in May 20th, I believe. Tulio, correct me if I am wrong on that. Will be another online event. And this event is going to showcase or highlight for you our opening day process this year, which will be much different than it has been in previous years. Perhaps in some ways a little bit better because it'll be very streamlined, but also there might be a little loss because folks won't be able to tuck their campers into their cabins. So please look for the invitations that should be coming out soon. I'll send an email with a link to invite folks to that online event, May 20th, where we'll be previewing our opening day procedures. Submitting your information for physicals and health forms, all those other things are still the same. You'll send those to admissions or upload them into your accounts, but you'll definitely want to check out that opening day preview in May. So you've got all the information that you need to feel ready and confident about camp. Cabin lists aren't made yet. There are still campers coming on and off our wait list. And as soon as admissions gives me the go-ahead that the wait lists have been cleared and the cabins are now settled, and there's wait lists for every session and every lodge for camp this summer. Once that's settled, then I will be assigning campers to cabins and sharing that out with you before campers arrive to camp. It's so important this summer that campers are with the friends and folks that they hope to be within their cabins. And I would like to have time before they arrive to make any changes or edits to that so that it's correct for them when they do come to camp. So when I share with those cabin lists, please double check them to make sure that your camper is with the folks that they expect it to be with, so that I have plenty of time to make changes if I've missed somebody or the groups aren't correct. So that will be coming out as soon as our wait lists are cleared through admissions. Any questions about that for folks? All right, I know we do have some new families, and I know some families have questions about how things might change as a result of the pandemic. This is just a snapshot of, generally speaking, what a daily schedule looks like. And it's very generic, of course, because our schedules vary depending on the theme, if it's a special day like Someday or on birthday, or if it's the overnight. But generally speaking, this gives you a glimpse of the flow of the day. I've also put in there a column about what group the campers will be in when they're participating in some of these activities. One of the probably most visible impacts of the pandemic will be who the campers participate in activities with. And I've tried to lay some of that information out here for you so that you have an idea of what that would look like, and then maybe can assist your campers if they have questions with that as well. One change to our program this year, traditionally in the mornings, that's when campers would have their scheduled activities that they would rotate through, and in the afternoons are when they would have their what I would call individual choice activities. We're flipping that. The reason we're flipping it, so the individual choice activities, which are going to be cabin choice this year, for the first week at least, will be in the mornings, and the structured activities, the ones that they were assigned to, will be in the afternoons. And we're doing that for swim lessons. Campers were finding it super chilly, especially since our younger campers are the ones who have formal swim lessons. We're finding the water was still pretty cold in the morning to really have comfortable swim lessons. So we're going to do the swim lessons in the afternoon. So we're just flopping that in our schedule so that the lake is a little warmer for especially the youngest campers when they have their swim lessons. The first 7 days of camp, the campers will participate in all activities with their cabin. That will be our smallest cohort of the summer. And then after that 7th day, that's when we'll be testing the campers again. Post a negative test, that cohort will expand. So one cabin will be able to do activities with at least one other cabin. Right now it's our kind of max or group size for camp would be around 25 folks. So 2 cabins will be able to join together to do activities so that individual choice can happen within those 2 cabins in those morning activities. And then the 3rd week of camp, we'll switch those cabin groupings up so campers will have opportunities throughout the session to spend time with all the campers within their lodge. Does anybody have any questions about the schedule? All the other typical activity areas that we offer at camp will still be occurring: barns and gardens, aquatics, which includes swim lessons, rec swimming, distance swimming, canoeing, kayaking, outdoor living skills, and creative arts will all still be part of our program complement this summer. All right, let me stop sharing my screen here for a moment. Cool, I'm gonna just take a quick peek in the chat and see. Oh yeah, definitely I'll share these slides with you. I will dump them into a PDF, and then we've got your emails from registering for the event, and I can share that out. And I'll also maybe find a way to post that on our the website too, is a place. And I'll also include in that email the link to schedule a one-on-one meeting if you would like to do that, and my contact information too. That is an awesome question. Let me just scroll up here. I see there's a question about cabin groups. How do we support building new staff, support new staff and building community and belonging in their cabin groups? The same we would every summer. Usually we pair staff that are returners. It could be returning campers that have aged up into staff, or returning staff with a new staff. But also we have 2 weeks of pre-camp orientation. And one of the counselor's primary and most important roles is to do exactly that, to help build that community within their cabin, and to learn how to get to know and support each camper as an individual, as well as support that camper as a member of that cabin group. So the staff receive loads of training about building that team, and most importantly about supporting that team, because making those friendships sometimes is not the most difficult part. What becomes the most difficult part is sustaining those friendships over the period of camp, and making sure that every camper feels they have equal value and voice within that camp community. Let me just take a peek and see.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey.
The campers and I are back.
Yay! Welcome back, everybody.
Hi. Hi.
Hey. So I was going to share out another Mentee questionnaire to help close us out today, but I can't get it to share the results, which is kind of the point of doing Mentee. So instead, what I would love to do is to have you write in the chat maybe one thing that you are most excited about, either for yourself, if it is a camper coming to camp this summer, or as a parent, one thing you're excited about for your camper coming to camp this summer. And then one thing that you might be worried about, or as a parent, one thing that you would love us to think about or consider when thinking about providing camp to your camper this summer. So something kind of like a rose and a thorn, something you're super excited about, and something that maybe you're a little, I don't know about. And just pop that in the text box. Aw. Oh, the overnight. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. Oh, I saw Sleepaway Camp for the first time. Yay! Yeah, somebody mentioned homesickness. And so as the comments come in, I would like to share that there are lots of resources out from the American Camp Association, as well as other sources, of how to have really helpful conversations, sort of foundational conversations with your campers about homesickness before they come to camp. It's just a great practice to talk with them about what homesickness feels like and what their sort of plan of action will be if they start feeling homesick. And then you can share that with the camp staff so that the counselors, one, know that you've had a conversation with your campers about homesickness, and two, know what the campers' strategies are for working through it. But homesickness, is, especially this year, is a great thing to talk about before coming to camp. So campers feel that they understand what homesickness is, that it's somewhat, it's normal, nothing to be afraid of. And then also, what are some strategies for them when they're working through that? Your mom writing you too much? That would be me for sure. I don't know how excited to see my sister, who won't stop bragging about being in senior lodge.
Yeah, she keeps going, I'm gonna be in senior lodge.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing these.
Not sleeping in my house. Yes, and remember, you can bring some things. So somebody's a little worried about not sleeping in their own home. So parents, I definitely suggest working with them about like how can they make a tiny little piece of their house magically transported to their bunk at camp. Like, what are some of those things that really bring them comfort? Is it a special blanket or pillow? Or if they're not going to be using those things, practicing sleeping in them before they come to camp? And what maybe one or two small things from home can they bring to help them feel like they have a space that belongs to them in their bunk? So it's not just this like sterile wooden box, but it really feels like their own space at camp. Those are super valid, important things.
I'm excited to get away from my older brother. That is really funny. I have two older brothers. I agree.
Yeah, I bet they'll be jealous that you get to have this amazing camp experience if they're not going to camp this summer. You'll have all kinds of stories and bragging rights when you get back to share with them. Yes, Camp Magic.
Third generation. Woo!
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Wow, what a special place IB is. Older brother's so annoying. I am really excited to get to I can't wait to watch the faces of not just the campers, but also the staff. The staff are just as excited as the campers, I think, if not more in some ways, to be able to make camp happen for them this summer. It's such an important season for so many reasons for all of us. And I can hardly wait to see that first car roll up our camp road and to watch that first group of campers exiting and start being part of our camp community again. It's just going to be incredible. Oh boy, the brothers aren't feeling the love in the text box today. Puppies definitely are like siblings, that's for sure. Well, as our time comes to a close, I would like to thank everybody for participating today. I have learned a lot about technology in Zoom. And if you have an older sibling or an older camper, we do have another one of these events for Senior Lodge in Red Spruce Grove that will be occurring in just about a week from now, April 17th. So hopefully by then I can make mentee work and not be quite such a novice in facilitating a Zoom meeting for you all. So camp is certainly an experiential process, and this was for me today. I appreciate your patience as I navigate through my own learning around technology, which of course is not traditionally a part of what we do at camp. If you have additional questions that you would like to ask, please do feel free to stick around. I'll be hanging out for a little bit of time as we close today to answer any questions families might have. If you don't have any questions, and if you don't have any other campers for the 17th, please do come May 20th so you can get that sneak peek at what our drop-off procedures will look like for this summer. And thank you so much for sharing your campers with us this season. It's a true honor and privilege to be able to spend this time with them. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. So thank you everybody for coming today.
And thank you campers for playing with me.
Yay, Alexis.
Thanks, Teresa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That was pretty awesome. I love the.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jillian.
Thank you, Sophia.
I'm so excited for camp.
Aww. I am
Us
too.
too.
It seems really fun.
Yay.
You're going to have such a great time, Sophia.